Then I just started exploring it by itself. So yeah, we got that really nice, the space background, and here this is from NASA. Welcome to the Ready Designer 1 channel. A while ago in 2018 by Dann Petty. How I found this challenge is by another designer called Mike Delsing, who's done a really great website concept, and this is to space and back. I recently had a subscriber email me about design, how to improve your design skills, and there is a wealth of templates out there already. For example, Tailwind CSS, there's Bootstrap. How can you then make it different? How can you improve the design of templates? So this also applies to branding or logos. How can you be different from the current competition? So the main competitors that we have are SpaceX. We have brands like Tesla. This is something that Dann Petty pointed out. These are brands that they like. You've got that really nice sci-fi futuristic logo. So you got SpaceX, you got Tesla. You also have Apple, which is another brand that he recommended. So again, you got that really clean, modern look. So we're looking at Tesla, we got SpaceX, and of course you got the famous NASA. So just to go to NASA, and NASA, they actually have another logo which is also known as the worm logo. So for example, I'll go NASA logo, you can see that they got this really nice minimal style as well. So what I ended up doing is I ended up going on Dribble, and I then just look for space font. And this is one way to create a logo, is to use a font, but you have to find one that fits the brief. So I just started looking around, and what I ended up finding is something a bit different, and let's see if it even turns up. So it's not appeared yet. I'm pretty sure I will come across it. Here we go. So good news, and this font again is very similar to the NASA font, and you can find a similar font on Adobe fonts, which is called nationalization. Can't say the whole word, but I thought this was quite nice. So I just ended up looking at Chandler Saunders' profile and just seeing what other fonts he's been playing around with. So I just kept scrolling, and then this one called Rising. So again, this one, it feels like that worm style, very similar to NASA, and I thought, wow, this is beautiful. And this kind of represents me as well, from the 80s, that 80s retro futuristic style. So he said here is based on a font called Super by Michael Bagnardi. Okay, so I just looked for this font, and here we go. So Super, the designer's boundary. Now sometimes these fonts can be expensive, but here, just looking at this, you got this nice circle in the middle of the E. So there's certain things about this which is different to the existing competition. So again, just try typing it out. So the brand is called Spaced. So again, here you've got these really nice, unique decorations in there, and I thought, wow, this would be a perfect font for the logo, just to keep it simple. This one here is actually the 80 version, but I thought maybe I felt this feels more in line with the brief. And you can see they got lots of different types of ways of testing. They got glyphs, and I thought, wow, this looks really good. You got the desktop, you got the web. For now, I'm just going for desktop, and I decided to go for the bundle, and this price is actually pretty good, and you have to read all the terms and conditions. So to quickly go into Figma, this is very messy to begin with, but you'll see how I start cleaning it up. So I just got in the logos of the competitors, Tesla, SpaceX, NASA. So I just typed out the font here, spaced, and I started playing around with kerning, so spacing it out. Now there's one drawback to this font, so if I just zoom out and keep zooming out, you see a preview there, you can see that it's not very legible. So when it's small, it's not very easy to read. That's one thing to be aware of when you're testing out fonts, especially on the small size. So I thought, oh yeah, that could be a drawback. So what I ended up doing, if I just go Command Dots, I ended up putting a stroke. This might not be the best way, but just to make the font a bit thinner. So it's currently very bold, or black, or bold, ultra bold, but I thought, can I make this bold or medium? So I just put a stroke of inside. You can even do it like this, where you got center, and you can start playing around. You can see there, I've got 4. You can see it's going a lot thinner now. So that is one nice way of testing it out, and you can flatten this as well. So I ended up just comparing the size alongside the competition, and I felt more comfortable with this. I thought it's unique, it's different, it's still got that futuristic retro style. So I thought, I'm really happy with this, and I ended up exploring it on different backgrounds. So here I just got a really nice resource on Unsplash, and one thing I noticed is the P, and this could be personal preference, but this kind of stuck out at me. It looked a bit strange when I started just looking at it. And the thing about design is that it does take time, so don't feel you have to rush design. Good design does take time, and sometimes you need to go away, come back. So I did start this yesterday, and sometimes you'll come back to it and you think there's just something about this, the end of the P or the beginning. So I thought, okay, can I modify it? So I wanted the end of it to be sharp, like the A, the C. So again, I just started playing around. So here I ended up modifying it, and you can do that quite easily. So Command Dot, if I go in, you can see that when you start playing around with the points, you can just modify it, right? So as a quick, what do I need to have an example? Well, I'm sure you can figure it out. If you really would like me to show an example, just hit me up and I can share it on Twitter. So I finally settled on this version. I thought, wow, this is beautiful. I thought this fits the brief, and then I just started exploring it by itself. So yeah, we got that really nice, the space background, and here this is from NASA as well. They have some images on Unsplash. I thought, oh, this just looks really, really beautiful. So again, I just had one of the moon, and then planet Earth, how it looks at the top. So now I started playing around with branding on things like suits and uniforms, and here I had it in black, and here I just placed it in the patch here, and it's probably not the greatest, right? You have to try and see if you can mesh it or warp it, but this is just an example. So I thought the branding could be red again. Tesla is red, you got NASA is red. I thought, should we be different? I thought for now I just went red or black. And then here again we got another concept of another astronaut, and I think the story is the excitement or the journey from you, the passenger. The whole story of it is to try and show the excitement and the passion and the journey from going from Earth all the way to the moon or in space. So I thought this could be a nice story of regular people going to space. So here's another nice image I felt was quite nice. He looks happy. Maybe he's just booked his ticket. Again, we're showing the branding, potentially how it looks on a website, because this is a MacBook Pro and the logo is on the top left. Again, we got branding on the patch. Here's another one where he's looking quite serious. This could be a nice pose for the camera when they're actually about to embark on their journey. So well, that's pretty nice. And here we got a nice shot with the flag. Again, just to look how the space looks and is it legible enough. Okay, so you got NASA, you got space, and again I thought that's legible enough. So here's another one with the female. So it's like a couple, they're going on their journey to space. So I thought this could be a nice story. So another thing to do is just to start placing it in different formats. So here is a letter that I just get from, if you hit the F key, Command dot. So here you could just say paper, so you could say letter or watch, just place them in different formats. Okay, so here I started playing around with color. You got the iPhone, how would it look in the center? Again, it's just testing different colors. You got black, you got red, you got white on dark, you got red background. I thought all that it's just minimal, it's clean, and it's still legible. Here we have spaced. Again, I think it's different to the competition at the moment, but I haven't put too much time into researching all the competition. But looking at the big players, I thought, yes, this is great. So again, zooming out, you can see it's still legible, it's unique. We zoom out again, you can still see the dots, but that's quite small now. But again, I think this is a really nice way of playing around with branding, preparing it on different slides with background shots, how it might look on a website, how it might look on the uniform, on the astronaut costume, some other concepts that I did for the logo using different fonts. So this is the first, well, this is actually the last, but this is my favorite one, and this is using the super font with a slight modification on the P. So that is concept 1. So let me know in the comments which one you would vote for. So this is concept 2, and this is using a font called Amuse 01. This has got that sci-fi style, and I didn't do any modifications to this. I just spaced it out, and the A is a bit different just to the regular, having them both mirrored the same. I'm not sure on the right language to say for that, but again, this was another simple font that I decided to go for. So let me know if you like this, concept 2. And I believe this is the final one that I looked at, which is a very retro font, and this is stereo wide, which is free, and this is quite popular with the sci-fi. So if you look at fontsinuse.com, you just put in sci-fi or Star Wars, this is a very popular font. So I think all of the free could work very well. Let me know what you think, if this concept 3 is more your favorite. But when I started looking at the competition again, like NASA, SpaceX and Tesla, and we've seen this style before, and again I thought this is very, very common as well. This one as well is quite common, but I thought it's different with the dots in the A and the E. If you have more time to invest in the branding, you know, something could be done with this, and there's some great concepts already done in Dribble on how they did the C and the D. You might want to check that out. Let me know what you think about this challenge in the comments, and what I'm planning to do is to then build a website or a hero section, and how can we make that really different, special, unique. So if you check out his concept, and let's just go to it right now, and this is all in Webflow. So you can see here the branding, his branding is I really love this. It's just a lot more fun, and you got that, I can't remember the term for this, but it's just pushed up. It's not warped, but it's got that shape where you just push it up, similar to Netflix. So here you got destination, passengers. I thought that's just really, really nice. You got the moon, and you got this really nice slight animation. So it's very subtle. Again, Dann Petty mentioned Nike's going to be part of the brand. So this is just amazing where they got the Nike These are from Back to the Future. So again, I think this is one of my favorite websites from the competition, and you can see what to expect. This is just really nice as well, where he played around with different concepts, just have some fun, you know, because sometimes the design, you don't have to be too serious with it, just have fun with it. And again, a really nice footer, and I think I might try it and use a CSS glow on the logo, because I think that is absolutely awesome. So let me know what you think in the comments about this challenge. I'm starting from the logo, and then depending on how it goes, I'm going to do the hero section and then actually build it out in Webflow. And then do we build out the whole website, and then do we do an app? Subscribe and join me on the journey from designing and developing from Figma to Webflow.